Excellency, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all the good questions. That was your greatness, Excellency, that you just talk so good about us. Yeah, not good. We're just like you. We are jack of all and master of none too. So, like, for some reason, I was thinking of the word that you just said, Your Excellency, Mustang. So, like you said, of course, like in Nepal, since tourism is one of the potential sectors, it's very common for people to speak English, and it's kind of interesting to see that people have never been, like, especially those people who are like vendors, they sell those stuff, like they would be speaking in English, maybe they have never been to school, maybe they don't know how to write. But the thing is, like, the English that we speak is the Nepali English, like. Because when Excellency said, like, if you want to say M-U-S-T-A-N-G, because there is a Mustang district in Nepal, and when my dad was here, so he saw this car called Mustang, and my dad would say, oh, there is a Mustang car, and my boy would say, no, Grandpa, that's Mustang. Okay, I mean, so I have to, you know what I'm trying to say here, because we have our own pronunciation. If you go to Nepal and say, I want to go to Mustang district, and they'll be saying, where on earth is Mustang district now? So, well, that's really interesting. And Excellency also talked about some of our costumes, our culture. So, like all of you saw, like we're wearing this elegant dress called sari, and that's the national wear of Nepal. The ladies wear this, and you have seen so many beautiful ladies up there. And I would like to like acknowledge them for wearing your national wear here and bringing a Nepali vibe. Could you please stand up, all the ladies, so our guests could see what a Nepali sari looks like and how beautiful you look. And that's a very, very elegant wear, and we call it sari. And I also saw two gentlemen who wore the national costumes for men in Nepal, and that's called Dara Sural. That comes with the Nepali topi. If you gentlemen still here, would you mind please standing up? That's the national costume for the men in Nepal. And it's really interesting because most of the government officials, like, they have to wear one. And His Excellency just said that he didn't wear it, but that's okay. And the interesting thing I was trying to tell you, like, you are so used to seeing people wearing that kind of outfit, and when they come in some dress like that, then you become a stranger. I've seen you somewhere. Thank you so much, everybody. Then we'll still go ahead and continue our program. And I would like to request some of our guest speakers to kindly come here to the podium and say something and speak briefly about this program, and then maybe whatever you have in your mind. And to begin with, I would like to start with Professor Kailas Yakurel, PhD. He is visiting his family in Dallas, and he holds a PhD degree in sociology from the Michigan State University, USA, and a Master's of Science degree in agriculture from the American University of Beirut, Lebanon. He has 45 years of work experience, 11 years with the Nepal government, 30 years with Tribhuvan University in Nepal, and at present he works as a professor of social science and a senior researcher at Kathmandu University. His fields of specializations are comparative research, institutional development, natural resource management, ethnic group relations, and evaluative research. He also served as a Dean of Agriculture and Animal Science at the Institute of Agriculture and Animal Science in Nepal. He was also the member of National Planning Commission. He has served as a senior visiting scholar in the Michigan State University and Cornell University. And Professor Pyakurel has a number of publications to his credit. Dr. Pyakurel, we would like to hear from you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Sharma, dignitaries here who are seated, who are also the members of Symposium, Visit Nepal 2011 Promotion Symposium, and also the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This is really an opportunity for me to be here in this occasion and then speak a few words. Though my predecessors have done a wonderful job in saying, but what I thought was, since in this room everybody knew that we were going to do something about Visit Nepal 2011, whomever we have been seeing here, they are the well-wishers and friends of Nepal. So even if there are any weaknesses, they are not going to see it, the weaknesses, When you come with the positive mind, then you see everything good and nice. And this is the venue that I have observed. And then if I have to speak on promotion symposium itself, the people who have been involved, ANA and its other affiliated members, they have done an excellent job in organizing this kind of symposium. If I go on adding what Nepal looks like and then why one should visit Nepal, I guess I will be telling the same thing in an inferior way. Why I say this is the presentation which were done before me were so excellent, visually as well as orally also, that I cannot claim myself to be a better presenter. However, I could say some of the things in a little bit different way, not a better way, but in a different way. If we visit Nepal, even some of us who have been here for more than 10 years, there is a big gap that we have been reading the news and then calling our friends, and whatever we get the education, we are getting educated according to who has called us and who has informed us. So because I have not been staying here for a long, even then I was here first time in the States in 1978. Until 82 I was here doing my studies and then went back. From those days onwards. I have been commuting, coming and going several times. However, I am there in Nepal, and here for the last 3.5 months I am here. In 2 weeks' time I will go back. So, though we have already been informed, the information of 4 or 5 hours back, so we have the latest information, and it's a really good news that the term has been extended to formulate our constitution, because it had worried a lot of us. But there was a question addressed to our His Excellency the Ambassador about some political situation. In 10 years' time, when there was an armed conflict and a sort of people's movement, then there was not even a single foreigner who was killed, in spite of nearly 16,000 people who were killed, both by the Maoist revolutionaries and also by the government, army and security people. So it's a combined sort of figure from both the sides. And during the revolution time, in 19 days' time, there was a person who was from abroad, only one foreigner who was mistakenly killed by army people, in a crowd when there was a movement. Otherwise, in the whole period, in 10 years' time, there was none. So it is non-threatening. In one time, when you read the books about the Gurkhas, the brave Nepalese who have fought in World War I and II, you read all the brave things, They are such a brave person. Again, on the other side, they are so peace-loving and hospitable. Some of them might not have anything to eat, but they will be smiling. You will not see anyone who has a sad sort of face. They smile. They start smiling. But if we look at anybody's face here, then it's assumed to be offense. Now you can just see, you are not supposed to stare on somebody's face. If you hit me, a Nepali, if as a foreigner you hit me, and then I am thrown out in a bicycle, suppose, and then the rider will pick me up, then you are supposed to say thank you here. But in our case, to be very frank, because I am a student of sociology, if somebody hits me by the bicycle and still gives me a hand, then I don't want to thank him anyway. Because he hasn't done anything except hurting me. However, I may not say anything. So there are cultural differences and cultural clashes. However, many people have liked Nepal, as they said, due to the scenic beauty. But people, they are great. They are so diverse. There is a diversity. Again, they think in different ways. You can find whatnot. There was data a little bit. Some data were outdated. There are nearly in that tiny country such as Nepal, we have big things. The shape and size of Nepal is just similar to Tennessee. If we compare shape and size, in that small country, we have more than 73 different languages, not even the dialects. They speak different languages. And then more than 103 caste and ethnic groups. We say caste and ethnic groups, not 40 ethnic groups, officially recognized one is 60 right now, but there are more also. And there are caste groups also. Different types, let's say, social groups and human beings who have different sort of thinking, and they have cultural artifacts also. So where in the world you can get these kinds of encyclopedia when you go there? There is modernity, and then there is a tradition which goes side by side, without any conflict. See, so if you go there and with those kinds of interest, you can get in a very small place lot of education. That's one. I don't think that any international visitors should go to find out what are the amenities there in Nepal or Kathmandu. They have the amenities, not enmity. Amenities there in their own country with all sauna bath and good hotels and even homes. So they have not gone there, visited Nepal to find out all those places. At least some. If some manageable comfort is there, then that is so. And there is ecotourism going on in Nepal. You can be put in good houses with the house owner, and then they treat you like anything. A person, if once goes to Nepal, for that person, it is rare that will be the only visit for good, The person is going to aspire to visit again and again Nepal. I will tell you briefly one of the story of my advisor. It was in 1979-80 that I was motivating him to visit Nepal to follow my PhD research. And